You are listening to the B.I.G show with your hosts, Calvin and Garland.
Yes, sir.
The B.I.G show is a weekly breakdown of the sports world from a fan's perspective. Here are your hosts, Calvin and Garland.
It is the big show.
Merry
And after
Xmas.
after a little small hiatus, we are back. And we here. We're live on YouTube right now. You can catch us on all the podcast platforms. And if you are on Spotify, when I drop it, you'll be able to see our beautiful faces. I'm Calvin. That's my guy Garland over there. What's up, Garland? What's up with you, man?
Hey, man, great Thanksgiving, great food, great fellowship, great leftovers. You shouldn't be eating any leftovers today. You only had a couple days of leftovers. You shouldn't be still talking about you snacking off the ham and the turkey. You should be done. Those should have been cut up into a salad, made into a little salad for a sandwich early in the week. The seafood salad, I know it was good on Thursday, but now it's a whole week later. Yeah, that crab meat and them shrimps, you shouldn't be eating that right now. Okay, so I don't want you having bubble guts and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully you back to regular food and stuff. What about yourself? Did y'all have dinner or y'all went somewhere? What did you do?
We so for Thanksgiving, we went to our turkey was the Ravens and shit. So
that's right.
Game.
Oh Lord.
So we had yeah, man. So we had a
you had a bad meal.
horrible meal. So we actually did a Thanksgiving the next day. So everybody came over Friday, and we did just a normal dinner. We ain't do anything traditional. We had some seafood stuff and just a gathering. Now, when we did go to the game, we got this little tailgate couple that we hang out with, and we had a little Thanksgiving.
I saw the pics.
Yeah, we had a little Thanksgiving tailgate. The other girl, the wife of my homeboy, she made individual little Thanksgiving plates for us all and shit.
I ain't mad at that.
And then we had some little drinks and shit. So we was, it was nice and cozy and lit. And it was cold as shit out there too. We had a little heater we all gathered around and shit. So it was pretty good. Everything was given except for Lamar and the Ravens offense.
Right. Them mofos. But hopefully everybody had a great holiday season. I mean, the season's not over. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving and you did some stuff. It was like a whole nother weekend. I got a nap. I did all the things I wanted to do. Yeah,
got some rest.
Got some rest.
Yeah,
so I can go ahead and hate on the Ravens. And so let's go ahead and jump into it, bro. First off, let's talk about your boy Lane Kiffin. He tells Ole Miss, peace. But they said you can't make a hoe into a housewife, and so that's what they were saying down in Mississippi. But on Sunday, Lane Kiffin announced that he was leaving Ole Miss to take the head coach job at LSU. His deal with LSU is for 7 years and has an annual salary starting at $13 million, with the potential for bonuses that would make Kiffin one of the highest paid coaches in college football. The Rebels just wrapped up an 11-1 regular season, assuring them a berth in the 12-team college football playoff. Kiffin wanted to coach the team in their college football playoff appearance, allegedly under the threat of taking the entire offensive staff with him if they didn't allow him to do it. But the athletic director at Ole Miss declined because of concerns of Kiffin being able to take players with him after he left via the transfer portal. And also it gave him a whole bunch of free advertisement as the coach coaching the team in the college football playoffs going to their bitter rival. And so did the AD make the right decision not to let Kiffin coach the team? Because this was a big debate. People were saying, why not? He brought the team that far. This is the most success they've ever had. And what were your thoughts on that in terms of Kiffin not given the opportunity to coach this team in the playoffs?
Man, fuck Lane Kiffin. Like if you work for me,
we're back.
And you tell me, let me. There's been a tradition in all of our adult lives that you give a job a 2-week notice so you don't
Sure.
burn
Right.
any bridges with it.
Right.
Recently, within the last, I want to say 10 to 15 years, and it's probably longer, you give a job a 2-week notice, they give you to the end of the day. They be like,
Right.
oh, okay, that we appreciate the notice,
Thank
but
you.
you can pack your shit up right now. Like, yo, who does that? Like,
Yeah.
fuck that. Like, Lane, and then why are you doing that, Lane? Like, what is the reason that, because you're still going to get paid either way? Do you feel like, well, I owe it to the guys? If you owe it to the guys, you shouldn't have left. Like, sir, you've moved on, moved on. You like an ex-girlfriend trying to hang on. Well, I mean, I know we broke up, but your family love me. Maybe I could go to Thanksgiving
Right.
dinner with y'all. Maybe we can still exchange
Right.
Christmas gifts. Bitch, get
Right.
the fuck out of here. We ain't doing none of that shit. We good. We good over here. I
Right.
got your replacement. Whether you got the replacement or not, I don't need you anymore. You ain't want me, then bitch, I don't want you either. Fuck that. Stop hanging on, Lane.
Right.
Fuck out.
Right.
Fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
You decided you didn't want me. I don't want
Exactly.
you. I think the thing was that he would think that they would give him that opportunity to do that, and that he thought he had leverage to do that, was just really crazy. Giving a 2-week notice is a courtesy. I don't have to accept your 2-week notice. Now,
Exactly.
I know that they pressed him, hey, we need to have a decision, because this has been going on for some while, because there were 3 schools that were interested in him. Florida State, which is a dark horse nobody knew about, but Florida State was in the mix for him. Florida was in the mix for him, as well as LSU. And so, he's basically been carrying on this soap opera since about October or so. And to finally come to this decision, it's definitely all about the money. And in some aspects, yeah, he did take the better job because LSU does have the resources. But I just think the way that it played out was terrible. You say F Lane Kiffin, I say F Ole Miss, because they were flying the rebel flag up to a couple years ago.
Fuck, fuck
Yeah,
them too.
we
Yeah.
we know our Black history, and James Meredith and all that stuff. You're not letting Black people into the schools. I don't care what happens with y'all, but I think in this case, yeah, the AD made the right decision. There's no way you can give this guy an opportunity to coach and to use this as advertisement as he goes into his next job at LSU. As a matter of fact, I was reading an article today. The AD at LSU that hired him, who was a Black man, he was saying, "Oh, I didn't have any problems with him coaching because it gives us credibility. We have this coach that's coaching in the playoffs. Our team is not, but this guy's here, and it will bring more attention to our school." And so, yeah, Ole Miss, you finally made a right decision. Yeah, I guess y'all made another right decision when you got rid of the rebel flag, and you made a right decision not to give Lane Kiffin an opportunity to coach your team in the college football playoffs.
Yeah, I think so. There's this phenomenon that America has with these college football coaches. They don't
I don't
treat
know what it is.
professional coaches the same way. Professional football coaches, professional basketball coaches, definitely not baseball managers. College football coaches are held on this hierarchy and this pedestal like their shit don't stink. And like every other coach, they're going to go for the best opportunity. And just like we do with any other head coach, bye, thanks, see you later. Like, man, fuck that. I never understood what it is about college coaches that make them such godlike figures. Because once they're done with these kids, they move on to the next one. Like,
Exactly.
we
Exactly.
it's not like they with them the rest of their lives. They can be like, oh yeah, coaches, they come back to the schools and shit. But once they done with them, they done with them. If they get injured, they move on to the next recruit. They could be on the field and they move on to the next recruit. And with the NIL, they definitely moving on to the next recruit. Man, fuck it. Fuck Lane Kiffin. Fuck college coaches.
All right, you heard it here.
Exactly. They didn't even treat Mike Krzyzewski, Dean Smith. They didn't treat either one of them like that. And they're legendary basketball coaches.
True,
like, it's just something about college football coaches.
Yeah, but I will say this. I think college football, it has a lot of problems, but this is a major problem that, I think this year we saw more coaches fired in the middle of the season or before the end of the season, because the way that the calendar is set up, where the recruiting, the commitments start either today or tomorrow, and then the transfer portal opens up not too far after that. So for a lot of these college programs, it's best to have the coach in place before the end of the season. Now, there are some coaches they're changing teams, but their teams are allowing them to go ahead and coach them in the bowl game or what have you, and that's good. But definitely in this situation, I think it was warranted that he did not get this opportunity. But talking about coaches, oh man, your boy Coach Subprime got Colorado a little broke, man. I was reading an article. According to the USA Today, the University of Colorado's athletic department is predicting a $27 million deficit for the fiscal year that ends in June of 2026. Colorado signed head coach Deion Sanders to a new 5-year contract that will pay him in excess of $10 million per season. That figure almost doubled his previous salary with the program. The concern with Sanders' new figure is that it comes after a 3-9 season. He said that he was sorry. It wasn't going to happen again. Just like Jesus, he was going to make the program rise again. He's still bringing God into it. So they saw significant drops in attendance and in viewership. And so, Calvin, can Subprime get God to remove the deficit and turn the program around?
First of all,
that's not a serious question.
I'm not even sure. See, now your Deion hate is back on again. Now let's dig a little deeper into that.
Yes, I'm gonna dig a little deeper.
He's part of the reason. He's not the full reason. He's part of the reason.
NIL money.
NIL money.
It's real major, and they haven't brought the money in. They brought Deion in, and they really didn't have the money to pay him when they brought him in. It was a very bonus structured contract. And as he got that money up, and he had Lil Wayne and everybody and their mother, he had Gilly running down the sideline and what have you. For those first couple seasons, they were on TV. You had the big noon show there. You had the ESPN show there and all that stuff. But I didn't see Gilly running up and down the sideline this season. I didn't see Lil Wayne bringing the team out the tunnel this year. And so that's dropped off a little bit. And they're not in a great conference. I said it, I think, a couple years when I didn't think it was the best job to take, because they've been kind of like they hadn't had any success since Bill McCarthy back in the day. I thought they were in a terrible conference. Who wants to go to Boulder to play football? Everybody's going to the SEC. They're going to the Big Ten. They're definitely picking warmer climate schools. And I thought it was going to be hard for him to generate NIL there and turn that into a premier program. And he struggled a little bit. I mean, after 3 years, his record is about 15-16. He has 0 college football playoff appearances or bowl game wins. And so, and also not really helping the equation, the AD that hired him is leaving to take a consultant's job. And so with all of that going on, man, I mean, are we going to see Deion there after another year? I mean, if he doesn't come back out and have a better season, I mean, he's been there 3, 2 of them have been under 500 seasons.
Yes. And you're exactly right. So the problem is, and what I didn't expect, I thought he would be able to recruit. He hasn't been able to get the guys there. And without having the players there, you're going to have a 3-9 season like he has. So you can't generate the money that you need. I mean, you're going to have the TV deals, but you can't generate the money that you need to cover the NIL, to cover the salaries, to cover all these big lofty expectations that they have if you're not winning games. And you're not winning games if you don't have the best players in the country to win games. So he's failed in recruiting the best guys there. And of course, that's going on the field. I mean, your record isn't good. So no, I don't think they're going to be able to turn that around. The problem is Deion is the head coach. He's the big name. When you got a guy that's the AD that's leaving the job the same time this bill hits, which is the end of the fiscal year of 2025. That's kind of shady right there. So the issue is really the AD, but
Right.
he's leaving. So, and then he's not the big name. The big name is Deion. So when everyone hears the story, they see the article, whose picture is on there? It's Deion because Deion got the raise. I mean, if somebody's going to offer me a raise, is it my job to
I'm
figure
taking.
out if they got the funds to pay me? If they're gonna find a way to pay me, you gonna pay. If you offer it to me, you gonna find a way to pay me. Yeah, I don't
Make
know if
sure your
Deion's
check
gonna
don't
be
bounce.
able. Exactly.
Mhm.
As long as my direct deposit hits, I don't think Deion's gonna be there after next season. They're gonna have to part ways with him if he continues to have this lackluster record, lackluster
Yeah,
performance. They're
I
gonna have
agree.
to.
I often thought to myself that, you know, he'll leave when he wants to leave, but with these changes at the top,
Yeah.
if they don't have another winning season, I think it's going to get very tight for him. I give it about maybe 2 more seasons instead of 1 more season. I know he's
I'm only
had
giving it one.
you give him one. I know he's had the
I'm
health
only giving it
concerns
one.
as well, but I'm gonna give it maybe 2 more seasons for him. I think the buyout gets lower as he goes along, and so if they let him go next year, the buyout is like 10 million, and so and it decreases every year after that, and so I think they give him at least 2 seasons to try to pull it up. I said this a lot when he first got there because he brought his Louis luggage with him, and he brought all these players out of the portal that you can't live in the portal. The portal, to me, should only accent what you do in recruiting. And so, if the majority of your players are coming from the portal, I don't think that's sustainable. And that's what it's proven to be. It's not a sustainable model. I mean, you're not getting the best players. I mean, these are guys that either they used up all their eligibility at one school. Maybe they had a year left. These are guys who have lost their starting position. So you're not necessarily getting the top players. You're getting good players out the portal, but you can't build a sustaining program like that that's living off of transfers.
Yeah, you may be able to get one or two
Yeah,
superstars out of the portal. If you look at, and of course, it's a different sport and it's probably just a full different mentality. But if you look at women's college basketball, they get
it's
some
done well in this
superstars in
portal.
their portal.
Yes, you can get
And a lot of them are in the portal because they're not getting the playing time that they've expected to get. If you look at the girl that left South Carolina and went to
yes.
LSU,
Mm-hmm.
she wasn't getting the playing time and she wasn't in the position that she wanted to be. They had her running points. She didn't want to run points,
Yeah,
whole
Flo
lot to it.
Wally. Mm-hmm.
But you can find one or two. But I agree. You're not going to be able to. You can build maybe a team, but that's probably for a season or two. You're not going to be able to have sustained success if you are building your team completely through the portal. Now, somebody may come in and prove us wrong, but I
I haven't
agree
seen
with
it
you.
yet.
You have to recruit initially and
Mm-hmm.
get that base, and then you can start adding some players to that.
Definitely. All right, man. Sunday, a new show is going to be airing at 1 o'clock p.m. on Sunday, and it's going to be airing from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. It's called Head Coach Survivor. Who survives, Tomlin or Harbaugh? And so, two of the longest tenured head coaches in the NFL will face each other on Sunday, not only in a battle for first place in the AFC North, but possibly for their jobs in the coming weeks. John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin have faced tough seasons with their teams. Both the Steelers and the Ravens have underperformed and sit at 6-6. And needless to say, their respective fan bases are fed up. Steelers fans were chanting "Fire Mike Tomlin" on Sunday in the loss to the Buffalo Bills. And over the last 3 seasons, man, and if you've listened to enough of what used to be Fanboys and is now B.I.G show, we've talked enough about John Harbaugh and the fact that he should have been gone 3 seasons ago.
Been
Uh,
gone.
yeah, should have been gone. And so Ravens fans have been wishing for his firing and release over 3 years due to underperformance, not only in the regular season, but in the playoffs as well. And so, Calvin, who survives and will be coaching their team next season?
Neither one of them. Listen,
Wow.
best believe if
You gonna put out the fire on both of them?
On both of them. Best believe if the Ravens have a poor performance this Sunday, we will be copying the Steelers fans, except ours will be fire Harbaugh. Every Ravens fan heard that fire Tomlin chant and was like, oh, guess who next? We up next. Let me say this. I firmly believe and I still believe that Mike Tomlin is a very good coach. The difference between the two, I believe, is that John Harbaugh has legendary pieces that he just has not been able to get over the hump. Thank goodness that Todd Monken came in and actually helped get us to the AFC Championship, but then he started falling short with the play calling. Mike Tomlin has taken teams with struggling quarterbacks, old Ben Roethlisberger, and still gotten them to the playoffs. His issue is that he can't get past the first round of the playoffs. So Pittsburgh is sick of that. I saw something not too long ago that actually, and it is just a little TikTok that had me thinking, though. They said, the problem with the Ravens and the Steelers is that they build their teams to beat one another and not beat anyone else in the NFL.
Wow.
I kind of looked at it and was like, I can debunk this a little bit because prior to this season, over the past few seasons, the Ravens have been beating teams. Like, it's not like we haven't.
I think they built themselves to beat the Bengals the last couple seasons,
and they've been beating teams,
but they've been focusing on the defensive backfield. But go ahead.
And I was just about to say that, but they were talking about how the Ravens built from the outside in. They don't address the offensive line and they don't address the defensive line, and it's showing this year. As soon as Matabike got hurt, we were in a load of trouble.
Right.
But I say that to say both of these coaches seem to have a tradition and a way that they coach that just doesn't seem feasible any longer. And John Harbaugh came out like fire and has a great record with the Ravens. Now I say this to Garland a lot. He bucked a little bit, but I think he's in it now. John Harbaugh is a Hall of Fame coach. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. There's no two ways about it. Yes. We don't have to like it, but if you're on the outside looking in, John Harbaugh is going to be in the Hall of Fame. Mike Tomlin is going to be in the Hall of Fame. Steelers fans don't have to like it, but if you're on the outside looking in, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And we've had this discussion before, and you've asked who's the better coach. I'm like, they're pretty much the same coach. They hate him like we hate ours. And I'll tell you what we all will be happy with. I don't know if the Steelers fans will. I don't know how they feel about it. But if they get traded on the field to one another's team, like if we leave that field with Tomlin as our head coach and let them have Harbaugh, we would be happy about that.
You don't think we wouldn't be?
We would be happy about that. And I think the Steelers fans would be happy to get rid of Tomlin. We would listen. Just a little off the subject. If Lamar Jackson had Mike Tomlin as his head coach, he'd have made it to at least 3 to 4 Super Bowls right now.
Wow.
And more than likely would have won at least 2 Super Bowls. He'd have at least 2 Super Bowl rings right now.
Wow.
I truly believe that.
Wow.
I truly believe that.
I'll take that. I agree with you. I really don't think they're going to. I agree with you. I think both Flames get snuffed this year. The playoff window, the championship window, it's already closed for Pittsburgh. They're done. It closed a couple years ago, and I think for Baltimore, it's about to close for them. You had at least 3 great years of prime Lamar that you did not do anything with, and I don't know how much more you need to do. I mean, getting another offensive coordinator doesn't really mean too much for me. Getting another defensive coordinator doesn't really change anything for me. I mean, John Harbaugh has been given ample time to win with this team. And they had a great run early in his career because he had the great players. You had Reed. You had 2 Hall of Famers, 3 Hall of Famers. You had John Ogden. Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. You had other players probably going to get in the Hall of Fame, two potential
other
Hall of Famers.
potential, Suggs and Nada.
And so, yeah, you really had a good period of a 5-year run of consecutive playoffs, wins, 2, 3 AFC championships, 1 Super Bowl win. And so, yeah, you did great. But then after that, you've been up and down, up and down. And then you got Lamar, and you've been kind of up, but you haven't proved anything in the playoffs. And for me, it always goes back to the head. And a lot of times, the players' performance. Last year, Mark Andrews dropping the ball. We're going to talk about Mark Andrews in a little bit. Was not great. Lamar did not play a complete game in that playoff game against the Bills. He had a better second half than he had first half. Okay, great. But throughout the season, just his coaching style, his decision making, has always just been in question. And I think probably if they don't make the playoffs this year, and even if they make the playoffs and they don't go far, I think you've gone as far as you can go. And for me, that's the sign of a good organization, when you realize, okay, we've gone as far as we can go. It's time to make a change to get somebody who can maybe take this further. And he's been given more than an ample chance to get them there, and he hasn't been able to do it. All right, man, let's talk about the Bengals-Ravens game that messed up your Thanksgiving and my Thanksgiving too. Had a little indigestion as I sat and watched that thing. They lost 32-14 on Thanksgiving. They've been almost terrible in primetime games this year. They've only won 1 out of the 4 that they were scheduled. And so normally Lamar and team does great in primetime games. That's one of the things that we love primetime games, because Lamar does great in them, but not this year. The offense continues to struggle. Lamar had his 3rd straight game with no touchdown passes. He was 17 for 32 for 246 yards and 1 interception. He was sacked 3 times and he fumbled 2 times, which he lost both of those. As a team, the Ravens had 5 turnovers. After coming out and running the ball in the first quarter, which culminated in a King Henry touchdown, Henry finished with 10 carries, Calvin, for 60 yards and a touchdown. But in the second quarter, he did not get a single carry. But John Harbaugh asserts, "We're a running team," and that's a fact. That's a direct quote from John Harbaugh in the Baltimore Banner. Rashawn Ali had more snaps in the game than Henry and his backup, Keaton Mitchell. Rashawn is the 3rd running back in the game. So have the Ravens...
Really the 4th running back. He's only 3rd because Justice Hill is on
IR. Yeah, because Justice Hill was on IR. So have the Ravens lost their identity? Because they're supposed to be... Last year we saw this team, they could run at will. The passing game was crisp. Lamar was missing open receivers left and right. He can't get past anybody. He can't outrun defenders anymore. Have they lost their identity?
I don't know if they've lost their identity or they've lost their fucking minds. Let me tell you something, Garland.
We're going to change the names. You're going to be angry sports guy.
when we're at the games, we all, I'm sitting at the game. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're home. I'm talking about the little crew. But, the text be flying. And, sometimes they'll text me, be like, they said this on the screen. Did you see that? And I'd be like, no. But I text them in the second quarter and was like, did they say that Derrick Henry was hurt? Because we ain't seen him.
We ain't seen him. I was looking. People was on my text. Where's Derrick Henry? I was like, I ain't seen him. Maybe it's a little injury or something. I don't know.
We sitting in the stand. They usually put up update. The player update, questionable to come back. We ain't seen nothing. We was like, "What is he okay? Like, what's happening?" Looking down on the sideline, like, well, he right there. He got his helmet. He seemed to be okay. Man, I have no idea what the Ravens are doing and what's going on now. I listened to a lot of the local sports now. There's this local sports podcast that I listen to, the Glenn Clark Show.
Yes.
And they're talking about there seems to be there seems to be a rift between Todd Monken and John Harbaugh. And one of the things that Harbaugh did say at the end of this game, when he was told, I don't know why you have to be told, John, but when he was told that Derrick Henry only had 10 runs and didn't play in the second quarter, I mean, I don't know if you didn't see it or not. One of the things he said is, yeah, that's not something that we'd like to do. We'd like to be who we are. Sir, you're the head coach. You were standing right there.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't gonna make you, Calvin.
You were standing right there. You saw that Derrick Henry was not in the lineup. You went right there, sir. I mean,
he's on the sideline, Calvin. He's standing right. When you see a play running, you should be like, hold up. How come Derrick is not out there?
Where's that? Okay.
Where's Derrick?
Maybe the first couple plays.
I'll be right on. You got the headset on. Let me put it right on the offensive.
You got the headset on. You hear the call plays coming in.
Is there a reason why Derrick's not in? Get him in the game.
Maybe the first series. Possibly the second series.
But
when the third series comes out and you don't see Derrick Henry on the field, you need to be like, get your little John Harbaugh face. Call your timeout. And then be like, Todd, why the fuck ain't Derrick Henry out on the field? Like, I have no idea. Unless he's injured and they're just not telling us. I have no idea what the fuck they got going on. Now, let me just say this. As bad as the offense played, as bad as Lamar played, Zay Flowers got a touchdown call back. Isaiah Likely got a touchdown call back.
He fumbled out the end zone.
Yeah, he fumbled out the end zone. Tez Walker, the defender, fell. The ball is right there in his hands, and he drops the ball. So that's 3 touchdowns right there. That's 21 points right there.
It should have been at least 21 to 10 and a half.
Should have been. And I don't know what's going on with Lamar Jackson. He has literally the most unbelievable turnovers I have ever seen in a football game. They make greatest interception plays on them. The one interception from the other week, he throws the ball and it just skips off the defender's helmet. I've never seen anything like that. I've seen it hit defenders. And no, I'm sorry, it skipped off the offensive lineman's helmet.
Right.
The fumble he had at close to the end zone, I don't know what he's doing. It just shout out to the defense for holding them inside of the 5-yard line at downs. But then Lamar is trying the tuck rule. What were you trying to do, Lamar? Like, you're trying to hold the ball back. And if you watch any of the film for that one, Zay Flowers is wide open. So why are you even pulling the ball back? Listen, I'm not saying that he is, but if someone wanted to investigate Lamar for point shaving and gambling,
we can't think that every time somebody playing bad.
He's playing horrible. I'm not saying that he is, but look, I'm gonna be just like this around the corner. We'll be looking, be like, would they decide? Yeah, man, I'm just joking about that. I absolutely don't think that, but he's playing bad. The coaching isn't helping him, and the coaching is not helping him, and that's the worst part about it. When your superstar is not playing well, the coaching has to help him, and they're not helping his cause at all.
Yeah, he's in the slump, and we know he's injured. You know, he's missing several days of practice a week. He missed practice today. As a matter of fact, I think he might have missed practice on Monday or Tuesday or something like that. I forget. So he's missing at least a couple sessions of practice per week, ankle, toe, other things. And yeah, he's been banged up, and he's probably more banged up than we know, or that, we're getting reported, but he's definitely off. His mechanics I don't know if he doesn't trust his offensive line anymore to stop rushes up the middle. And because he covered really a multitude of sins by the offensive line over the last several years, I think that eventually catches up with you. You can have suspect linemen if your quarterback has the ability to evade the rush all the time. And we've banked on Lamar evading the rush every time. But this year, it seems like every time he's dropping back, he's having to evade the rush a lot. And they better figure it out. I mean, we're going to talk about the game in a minute, but they're definitely having some issues. Let's talk about the defense real quick. The defense played well up until about the third quarter, holding the Bengals and Joe Burrow to several field goals. But you can only hold a top 5 quarterback and a number 1 receiver in the league out of the end zone, but for so long. Joe Burrow was 24 for 46 for 261 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was only sacked once. That's a major problem. We don't have any pass rush. Jamar Chase has 7 receptions for 110 yards. He didn't have any touchdowns, but several other players did. Can this team beat a team with a good quarterback? Because on that little 5 games stretch that we had, we were not playing good quarterbacks. J.J. McCarthy, Tyrod Taylor, Kendion Tua, maybe Williams with Chicago probably was the best that we played out of that lot during that stretch. But now we're playing quarterbacks who can stretch the field. Burrow, we're going to get a bad quarterback Sunday, so maybe we can possibly do something. We seem to do well against bad quarterbacks. So what do you think about this defense against quarterbacks that can stretch the field?
Yeah, and don't sleep on Tyrod Taylor. I mean, he's historically not the greatest quarterback, but Tyrod
we made him look good.
Well, I was about to say he played well against us
on that Sunday. Yes,
played very well against us.
He's a very serviceable backup.
So I think we can now. This term I don't use a lot. But I'm starting to get into it more because of our team, the way our team is playing. I think we can. I think we can pretty much beat any team with complementary football, meaning that the offense has to do their job. The one reason why the defense failed by the fourth quarter is that they kept getting out on the field. Like they're literally doing everything they can do to get the offense to get some points on the board, to score some points. And at a certain point, that bend and don't break, they broke. You know, I mean, it was just one of them things where it's just like, well, goddamn, even in the final few minutes, they got a strip and gave the ball back to the offense, who had a very slim chance of scoring a touchdown, recovering an onside kick, and scoring again. And what happens? Zay Flowers fumbles the ball. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? It's one of them where if you're the defense, you're just like, God dang. I mean, you probably feel like Ray Lewis and the boys back in 2000, like you motherfuckers gonna ever get it together. But it's just with the correct complementary football that the offense has to play. I think the Ravens are still a very good team, but the offense has really been failing us lately. It hasn't been the defense. The defense has been doing exactly what they're supposed to do because they're not a top 10 defense, but they are a solid defense. Now, pass rush is absolutely going to help because I still have no idea why you did not send more. There's no reason for Burrow to have been sacked one time.
Yeah,
you should have sent some more blitzes in there. Yeah, you got to worry about Jamar Chase, but god damn, you know what I mean?
They were doubling him mostly over the field, but yet I agree with you. They have to get more pressure on the quarterback. You can't have the quarterback standing back there picking your team apart. Now we're getting a old Aaron Rodgers in this game. Their offensive unit has not been all that great this year. You know, DK Metcalf, he's nobody, you know, that you have to devote a whole bunch of resources to. They're near kind of like mid to lower half in terms of defense and pressure and stopping and running everything. We really should run the ball this game. And so what are some keys for you going into this game on Sunday that the Ravens could possibly win?
Yeah, so after getting run over by what seemed like 30,000 yards by the Bills last week, James Cook cooked He cooked their ass.
You
know they're going to concentrate on the run, and they're going to feel like all the
not
film.
The Ravens. They're going to throw 40 times.
Exactly. I was just about to say the Ravens should be running the ball, but we know they're not going to run the ball like they should. If it calls that they should run the ball 70%, they're going to run the ball 30% with Ali. Rashawn Ali is going to have most of those carries, but we should actually take advantage of that. We should take advantage of the fact that they're going to solidify that run defense. They're going to do whatever they can to stop us from running, and we should be able to run these play actions and these RPOs. But Lamar has to be on. When Lamar is on, it works extremely well. But he has to be on. Now, you know what? I'm gonna let you talk about the Steelers game, because you know I'm ready to cook. I'm ready to cook.
Oh goodness.
I got real angry on the text earlier today. Then Garland set me off, and I was like, whoa, I was sitting in the car driving home. I was like, whoa, I'm ready to cook.
Yeah, so you should be cooking about your Mark Andrews take, but I'm gonna say this about
my Mark. No.
You wanted to cut Mark Andrews last year.
Yeah, I did, but I gave you.
We'll talk about it. All right. And so I think, yeah, Calvin, I agree with you. They've got to run the ball and build off of that. I don't think you can have Lamar coming out slinging 30 times. I love Lamar as a quarterback. He's made that progression. He's a great passer. So this is not a thing. He can't throw the ball. He's not a good quarterback. He is. We already know this. But I think you're going to have to take the pressure of him making all the plays off and lean on Henry, lean on Mitchell, run it down their throat, play action off of that, and let's work it that way. They can't come out with this game plan of throwing the ball all over the yard. I don't think it's going to work. I don't trust the tackles to be able to block, to handle that. J.J. Watt has been not that good this year, but he's going to come here. If you're going to throw it 30 times, he's going to have 10 sacks.
Exactly.
Casey Hayward, he's going to wake up and he's going to start playing well. Yeah. Cam Hayward. And so, yeah, run the ball, play some solid defense. You can't give up the big plays over the top. I think, if they are strong against the run and they make Aaron Rodgers try to beat them with his arm, I think that's where they're going to be able to win. And so I want to see a lot of Hamilton on the blitz. I want to see some pressure. I want to see some exotic blitzes that are getting home. They're blitzing, but they're not getting home. And so I want to see some of these blitzes get home and make an impact. And so do you think the Ravens can run the table and make the playoffs?
I don't think they need to run the table, but okay. I don't think they can run the table. I think they can make the playoffs. It's going to be real key for them to win this game against Pittsburgh, win next week against Cincinnati. Then they come home and play the Patriots. That's where you need that win also. Then you got two more after that. You got the Packers and the Steelers again. I want to say yes, they can make the playoffs, but their path to the playoffs is definitely the AFC North. There's no wild card for anybody in the AFC North.
They got to win the AFC North.
They got to win the AFC North. The Bengals losing to the Bills this week, hopefully, and then us beating the Bengals next week shuts them out of that. So if we can get these two wins over the next 2 weeks with the Steelers and the Bengals, then we're in prime position to cruise to. And I think almost that if we do lose to the Patriots, I don't think it will hurt us as much in the division. But we don't want to be tied with the Steelers because I think they may have a tiebreaker over us.
Yeah, right now the tiebreaker is, well, we haven't played the Patriots yet. They won that Patriots
right. That's what I mean. Yeah, it would be that Patriots game if we don't win that game. Yeah. But
I don't think they can. To me, Calvin, I think they got to run the table. I mean, they cannot. Yeah, excuse me. They cannot split the Steelers game. They need both Steelers games.
Can't split the Steelers game.
Can't split the Steelers game. They need that Bengals game. And I really think they're going to need the rest of these games because you can't depend. If they can't win these games, you're depending on other teams losing.
Exactly.
And I don't like that scenario. I think the Bengals feel reinvigorated with Barrow coming back, at least offensively, and their defense have been playing pretty well over the last couple of weeks. That concerns me. That's why I'm just concerned that if they don't, they got to run the table. I mean, they can't go less than 4-1. 4-1, they still have a chance. It's going to come down to that last game of the season. But if they lose 2 games, it's over.
Yeah, they gotta. That Bengals game is going to be key because you want to put the Bengals out of their misery. You want them to lose to the Bills, which most likely they will, but you just never know. It's the NFL. You want them to lose to the Bills, then we have to put them out of their misery. Once we do that, then the path is a little clear. Now the problem is, we talked about how Pittsburgh's schedule. Pittsburgh has gone through that part of the schedule. Now they're coming up with, they got the 2 against us. They got a Miami team. They got a Cleveland team. Their schedule is not as difficult any longer. So, yeah, I may have to agree with you. We may have to win out.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, they have Ravens Sunday, Dolphins after that, Lions, Browns, and then us again in the season.
Yeah, they have that tough Lions game, like we'll have that tough Packers game.
Right.
So, I mean, it's kind of evens out, it kind of evens out.
See, Bengals have Bills this week, Ravens next week, Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns. They have the last 3 games.
They could win out. Yeah,
they can win out. They can win out.
That's why we got to beat them, put them out of their misery. The Bills beat them, and we beat them. They'll be put out of their misery.
We got to win out. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Now,
these 2 games are very important. If they don't get these 2 games,
it's over.
It's over. They need these 2 games. If they get these 2 games, I feel better about the Patriots and the Packers game.
Yeah, it's over if they don't get the 2.
If they don't get these 2 games, it's over.
If they get 1, they still got a little bit of life in them.
They get 1, they still got a little bit of life. If they get 2, they're better.
They're better. Let me cook real quick. Let me cook real quick. Because Garland made me so upset. So upset. So there's reports that Lamar Jackson is hurt. He missed practice today. I believe he did miss it Monday. And he's
they believe he's going to play.
Yeah, I just saw that. I'm almost certain he's going to play. And we talked about a little earlier his practice schedule. Last week I said I believe that they should have started Tyler Huntley in place of Lamar Jackson because it was a short week. Now, we saw Lamar Jackson play against the Jets, and he was obviously and clearly hurt. I was like, let him rest on that short week. Give the ball to Huntley. I believe Huntley could have beat the Bengals. I still believe he could have beat the Bengals because he's mobile. He can move around. The Bengals' defenses suck. But had we lost to the Bengals with Huntley, we'd still be in the same position that we are now. The problem is Lamar Jackson is even more hurt because he's coming off of a game that he played hurt and then into a short week where I thought they should have rested him. We would have had a Lamar that's even more healthy today going into the Steelers game, which is almost a must-win game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I was already mad about that because, I felt like Garland always says, coaching malpractice.
Yes.
You should have thought about that and let him sit, and then because we would still be in the same position. But then Garland comes and says, well, he was actually hurt for the Chicago. I mean, he was fully healthy for the Chicago game.
He was.
And it's a known fact that they let him sit to get more rest. Exactly my goddamn point. They let him sit because they knew the very next game was the Thursday Miami game.
You on me.
They didn't want.
You on me, but let me clarify what I'm saying.
All
right. Didn't get to clarify it in the text.
All right.
Now, the word is that Lamar sat himself. They fully expected him to play against the Bears. Came warm-ups on Sunday because he was a full participant in practice. Remember, leading up to that game, they decided to. That's when they had the funny business with the roster. They had the funny with the injury report. They were expecting him to be back for the Chicago game. He did not feel he was ready for the Chicago game, and as a result, they wound up sitting him. It was not the organization's decision. Okay. It was Lamar's decision. That's the word that's out on the street. It was Lamar's decision. He said he wasn't ready. They were expecting, he had cleared all the health things. They thought he was going to play. And so to me, what I'm saying is Lamar controls when Lamar's plays. He said it after that Chicago game. When I feel like I'm ready, then I let them know that I'm ready.
Then let me get back on the coaching. Then it's still coaching malpractice, because one of the jobs of government, aka coaching, is to protect the people from themselves. True. You knew he was hurt in that Jets game. You kind of knew, and you can take nothing for granted. You don't want any losses, but you kind of knew that you had that Bengals game that you could kind of play with, meaning it wasn't necessarily a must-win game. So you could have started Tyler Huntley only because it's a short week. I'm only looking at it because it's the short week. Just like that Chicago thing, the Chicago game, I believe Lamar sat because he knew he had that Miami game coming up, and he wanted to go to Florida on Thursday night, prime time, and play for his people and, fully healthy. The coaches should have sat Lamar for that damn Bengals game last week and get a fully healthy, because it was a short week, I don't want to say fully healthy, but a more healthy Lamar for these must-win end of the season games. I still think Tyler Huntley could have won that game last week because he was a lot more mobile, but that's just me. But I just think it's just something about this coaching. Now, let me say this. Everything I'm saying is coming from a fan's perspective. My job and my money are not on the line. Decisions are made because coaches and players have a lot more on the line than I do. I got bragging rights. It may not be even reasonable to say it's not like basketball where you get to sit out, load management. It's a totally different game. So what I'm talking is strictly from a fan's perspective. You get into the weeds of coaching, they may look at me like, are you out of your fucking mind? You do not sit your best player just because he might be kind of hurt. But I'm looking at it as a short week. I think he should have sat going into that short week because he was clearly hurt that Sunday. He could have rested that Thursday. Had we lost anyway. And now you come and you're playing a Pittsburgh team with a more healthy Lamar. And right now he's still struggling with his health, obviously. That is my whole point.
Okay.
I was about to get you, Garland.
Point well taken. Thank you. I'm glad I was able. Thank you for letting me clarify myself. Thank you. Because y'all, he went off on the text. I can't wait. Yeah. All right. I'm glad I was able to clarify.
I was in the car shaking. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, he went on. He like, yo. Yeah, I'm saving it. I'm saving it for later. We do it because he'll say something. I'll be like, I'm just waiting. Can't wait to record. Man, the Ravens extended Mark Andrews. So they rewarded tight end Mark Andrews with a 3-year extension on Wednesday. The extension is worth $39.3 million and includes a $26 million guarantee. Andrews, who is 30, was scheduled to be a free agent at the end of the season. He's became only the second NFL tight end to hold a franchise's receiving triple crown, joining the Chiefs' Travis Kelce. Andrews is the Ravens' career leader in receptions with 473, receiving yards with over 5,800 yards, and he has 56 touchdown catches. A honor well deserved. I think he's going to retire as a Raven. What are your thoughts on Andrews in the contract?
Yeah, so Garland gets on me because I wanted to get rid of Mark Andrews.
He wanted to they're going to trade Mark Andrews, get an edge rusher. That's what everybody wanted. It's kind of obvious, and I read something earlier. I guess they really could not move the number with Likely, and they just decided they're going to go ahead and re-up with Andrews. And so what are your thoughts?
Yeah, and it makes sense. And also, like we were talking about earlier, that injury preseason really hurt Isaiah Likely. He missed those games at the beginning, and since he's been back, he has not looked like the Isaiah Likely that we've all been hoping for him to look.
Definitely.
So I think what the Ravens are doing, instead of throwing that $50 million at him, which he definitely would have commanded a $50 million contract, they said, why don't we lock up our guy? And as mad as I was at Mark Andrews for dropping the ball, and as much as I thought he was definitely trade bait because Likely could definitely step into his role, I'm glad they didn't, because of course Likely ended up getting hurt. We would have Kohler, who's not bad, but he's not Likely or Andrews.
No.
But he definitely deserves to retire a Raven. If there was anyone that you could directly give credit to helping Lamar Jackson become the guy that he is, it is Mark Andrews, because there were years where we had no one but Mark Andrews.
Pretty much.
So he deserves this money. He deserves the extension. I'm happy for him. I hope this means, maybe he was putting some pressure on himself this year because of the drop and because of being in his final year. I hope this means that he relaxes a little more, because he's been playing okay, but he hasn't been playing Mark Andrews that we've been used to. So I'm hoping that, maybe he feels a little more secure, and this helps him out a little bit more, and also helps Lamar out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, last year everybody wanted to get rid of Mark Andrews at the beginning of this year after that loss to the Bills. I mean, his name was mud in this city, and everybody wanted him
even
gone.
nationally.
Yeah,
Even nationally, they were talking about him getting traded.
Yeah, so it's good to see that he will at least probably retire as a Raven. All right, y'all. We are at one of the parts of the show that y'all love, Pigskin Pick'em.
This is some bullshit.
No, it ain't. Pigskin Pick'em, y'all, and y'all know your boy over the last couple of weeks.
First of
We haven't
all,
really talked about our picks, but I left
it was
with I was up to a couple weeks ago. I was up to a couple weeks ago. It got kind of close. Calvin had a good week. We were at 23-21, and then I put back on the Jets, y'all. I had to go ahead and just rise back to the top with a couple big wins the next week. I picked the Chiefs over the Colts, and I picked the Jaguars over the Cardinals, which, Calvin picked the other teams. That took me up to 25. And then this past week, y'all, I got them 2-0 on this one, and so that gives me 2 additional wins. And so I picked the Texans over the Colts, and I picked the Bucks. Did we say Bucks over Cardinals? Did I do that? Yeah, I did.
I picked the Cardinals.
I picked he picked the Cardinals again, and so he picked the Cardinals twice, y'all, in 2 consecutive weeks. And so I took the Bucks over the Cardinals in this game. And so your boy is back up.
I didn't realize Baker Mayfield would be back. I thought he was out for a week.
He thought he was gone, but he wasn't.
That was actually a good game, though. It was a
good game. So let's go ahead, man. It's a good game tonight. Cowboys, they're in the D. What up, though?
Yeah, man.
Who you taking?
Cowboys have been rolling.
They've been on a run.
Their offense is clicking, but they are going to Detroit. I think they play a lot better at home, even though it's still a dome. I think they play a lot better at home than they do on the road. The Lions have to win this game. Cowboys are pretty much out of it. Lions have to win. I'm taking Detroit.
All right. I'm taking the Lions as well. I think, they're at home. It's a Thursday night game. I usually go with the home team on this one. The Dolphins, they head up to chilly New York this weekend to take on the Jets. The Dolphins, they did win last week. Jets won last week at last second field goal.
Yeah, the Dolphins have actually been playing very well. The defense has been a little solid. Now I don't know about Tua in the cold. That's the issue that I'm having right now. I think Tyrod Taylor is playing a lot better than Justin Fields would have. AD Mitchell has come on a little strong. Brees Hall is. I'm going to take the Jets. Give me New York. Give me Jets, Jets.
Fantastic. I'm taking the Jets as well for all of those reasons. I think they're playing well, and they're playing in New York. Dolphins playing in cold weather under 32 degrees. They don't do all that well. The Saints, they head down to Tampa to take on the Bucks.
Yeah, we're taking the Bucks there.
Yeah, Saints are not good this year. I'm taking the Bucks as well. The Colts, who have been in a spin, they've been in the spin. They haven't won a game since coming out of the bye. They are facing the Jaguars. This is for a battle for the top of the AFC South. Jaguars are in first place right now. Who are you taking?
Yeah, Jaguars are in first place. I never trust the Jags. Colts need a win. I'm gonna go with Indy.
All right, he going with Indy again. I'm gonna take the Jaguars on this one. I think the magic pixie dust that was on Danny Dimes is off now. The Colts don't know if they're going to have Sauce Gardner. He kind of tweaked his hamstring, or it might be his Achilles. They're not quite sure, and so it's a possibility he might not play on this Sunday. Defense has been not as stout as it was early in the season, and also they haven't been able to get the running back going as much as they were able to do early in the season as well. Titans in the battle of the bottom. Titans, they face the Browns, and so the number one pick, Cam Ward, will be facing someone who everybody thought should have been the number one pick in Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, I'm taking Baby Prime and Myles Garrett with another 3 or 4 sacks, getting closer to the record. I'm taking the Browns, baby.
Oh my God, you took the Browns. You know what? You took the Browns last week too. Did you not? Let me look at that.
No, I wanted to take. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. You wanted, but
I said I wanted to take them, but no, I'm glad I didn't. It wasn't even close. I wanted to take them.
I'm gonna take the Titans on this one. I think Cam Ward's gonna feel special. You know, him and Shedeur worked out together and everything, and you know he feels he's better than Shedeur. So
I'm coming back, y'all. I'm on the comeback. God, I'm making bad picks. I'm coming back, y'all.
All right, who y'all trust? Who y'all trust on this one? Oh man, DC. They head up to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Your boy Nine is back for the Vikings. JJ McCarthy.
Is Jaden playing or is Marcus Mariota playing? It doesn't even matter.
Marcus Mariota, Jaden's done for the season.
I thought, you sure?
Yeah, the elbow, he done. That thing was all over here.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought I read that he might be playing again. Is he number 9? Oh, maybe the 9 was JJ McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy.
That's what it was. I was just like, I read something. They were like 9 could be back, and I was just like,
yeah, no,
I literally looked at it like, so Mama Daniel's gonna be there.
That's what he called himself. 9. That's his jersey number 9. So 9 is going to be back for the Vikings.
Yeah, he going to throw plenty of interceptions. I'm going to take the Commanders on this.
You will take the Commanders? All right.
Commanders.
All right. I'm taking the Commanders as well. The Seahawks, they head down to Atlanta to take on the Falcons.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins, sir, it's over. Although Kirk Cousins is making Kyle Pitts top 5 tight end receiver, but I'm gonna take the Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks been blowing people out. They've been putting it on them. They put it on. Who did they play on Sunday? I'm looking at. They played the Vikings. Oh, they beat the Vikings up. Broncos.
Their defense caught me. They played the rookie boy. Their defense caught me like 30 points. Won me a couple fantasy leagues.
Bengals. They head up to upstate New York to take on the Bills.
Not only am I taking the Bills, I need the Bills to win this game. Let's go, Buffalo. You beat Pittsburgh for us, beat Cincinnati for us.
I'm taking the Bills as well. Broncos, they head down to Vegas to take on the Raiders. Raiders is they're
trash. I'm taking the Broncos.
Taking the Broncos as well. The Bears, first place Bears in the NFC North, head up to Green Bay. Big pivotal game. Taking on the Packers. Who you got?
Huge game. You got the new coach. What's that? Shane Steichen boy. They man, they got him there for a reason, and he's been doing it.
No, not Shane Steichen. You mean
Ben
Johnson.
Ben Johnson. And he's been doing it. Yeah, man. But I think loving these boys, they need this game. I'm gonna take the Packers. I'm gonna stay with the home team. I'm taking the Packers.
Yeah, they had a big win last week in Detroit. I'm taking the Bears, and so we're splitting that one. Rams, they head to Arizona to take on. I don't know, is Lil Man back yet? I don't think so. They're taking on the Cardinals.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The Rams just lost to the Panthers. Yeah. They might drop 70 on the Cardinals. They pissed off. They might drop 70 on the Cardinals. I'm taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams as well. The Texans, who've won the last several games, they're back in the mix in the wild card. They head out to KC to take on the Chiefs. Now, if the Chiefs lose this one, they're pretty much done.
Yeah, man. And CJ Stroud is back. It's his second game back from injury.
Mhm.
Yeah, you remember last year they had that playoff game where they should have won in KC and lost on that last second field goal miss.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think it don't matter because KC is not playing with their asses. I'm taking the Chiefs.
I'm taking the Chiefs as well. Taking the Chiefs as well. The Monday night game, Eagles versus Chargers. They're going to LA.
Yeah, I don't trust the Chargers for anything, even though they're going to be home. I'm going to take the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles, they got to get back. And so I think they're going to play a good game. And I'm not sure if Herbert's playing. You know, he something happened to his wrist.
That's right. That's right. And then the Eagles are coming off that loss, that comeback loss to the Bears, to the Bears.
Definitely. And the game that matters around here, Steelers versus Ravens, 1:00 Sunday. Calvin will be there sitting in his suite. When you're talking to Steve Bisciotti and you're drinking your eggnog and eating your finger foods, who are you pulling for in this game? Who's going to win?
I told the little crew that from this point on, I will never pick the Ravens
He
for the
did say
remainder
that.
of the
He did say
remainder
that.
of the season
So I'm
because
testing
they are
him. I want
just
to see
not
what he say.
they're just not having it. And let me just say cap because I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens.
Me too. Taking it. I'm not going against the home team. And
I can't
so
go. I
can't
can't go
go against the
against them.
home team.
I
All
can't
right.
go against them.
Quick recap. We're both taking Lions over the Cowboys tonight, Jets over Dolphins, Bucks over Saints. We split on Colts, Jags. Calvin's taking the Colts. I'm taking the Jags. We split on Titans, Browns. Calvin's taking the Browns. I'm taking the Titans. We both take DC over the Vikings, Seahawks over the Falcons, Bills over the Bengals, Broncos over Raiders. We split on Bears, Packers. Calvin's taking the Pack. I'm taking the Bears. We both take Rams over Cardinals, Chiefs over Texans, Eagles over Chargers, and the home team Ravens over the Steelers. Wish you best of luck.
I don't wish you the best of luck. I need these wins. I need these wins, sir.
Yeah, you notice y'all here saying nothing like.
I need these wins. It's getting late. It's getting late in the season.
Getting late in the evening. Sun is going down.
It's week 14. I only got 4 weeks to catch up and dominate. It's getting late. I'm gonna have to start making some wild picks if I don't catch up soon. I'm gonna have to
I ain't
start.
even work. I'm making the picks that's being led by the pick. I'm not even playing conservative.
I'm gonna have to start taking the Titans over the Rams, the Commanders over the Chiefs. I'm gonna have to start making some wild picks here.
See if y'all mans make it back. All right, y'all. We at the point that everybody loves. Come on, yo. And so, real quick, I gotta come on, y'all. I'll go ahead and jump in real quick. I've been thinking about just HBCU sports in general, and uh, I'm on I'm in a group on Facebook that's kind of like a Hampton University sports talk alumni thingy, and we're always talking about do we really have a sports culture at HBCUs? Because we're seeing, the advent of a lot of these coaches are coming to the HBCUs to get experience. I think Southern just hired Marshall Falk. He's from New Orleans, so he's from that area. We had Eddie George. He was coaching at a HBCU. Of course, Deion's foray into it. Ed Reed never really got started, but he was trying to do it as well. And so we were talking about, although you had these people coming into HBCUs, there's not necessarily a sports culture at the institutions. I was flipping channels last night and I saw Hampton playing Loyola of Maryland. It was on Monumental Sports, the Wizard station. And they carry CAA games, and that's the conference that Hampton is in. And they won by double digits. It was a good game. But there were no stands. There were no fans in the stands. I mean, no students there. I didn't know if it was finals week. It may be finals week. It's just the week after Thanksgiving. Usually finals week is about 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. but basically the arena, it was played on campus, on Hampton's campus, it was empty. And I was like, wow, when you turn on the games at the PWIs, they're packed out. I mean, it's rabid fans in there about to riot. I mean, it's enough game ambiance there that makes it a great game for TV. But when I look at our sports, you don't really get that. And I think because we're lacking in the culture, although we want to be big time, I think these schools are going to have to really try to come together and maybe make a super conference of HBCUs, because what's going to be happening with the new structure of NIL, and now these schools are going to have to pay the students, the players. I don't know if any of these schools are going to really last trying to play top division football or basketball. I know basketball, they go out and they play these money games where they play the big universities, like, the North Carolinas or the Kentuckys of the world will play a Jackson State, or they play a small school, and the school will get some money for that. But you can't live off of that as a program. And I think for the life of our future programs, we're going to have to come up with something where we're collectively coming up with the dollars to support the institutions, because now our institutions are just really serving as feeder schools into the larger programs. And they're not going to survive that way. And so I think we got to get our fandom up. We got to get our money up. And, I don't know where that comes from. A lot of these predominantly white institutions, they've had like a 30, 40, 50-year start on our institutions. Now we're starting to try to build these programs, but maybe we're a little bit too late. So come on, yo. I need Oprah. I need Tyler Perry. I need Magic, Jay-Z, all of these people with the dollars. Let's go ahead and make a collective so we can start funding these institutions. I know Bill Cosby was doing it years ago before he started drugging people, but allegedly. But we can't use Bill anymore, although Bill saved a whole bunch of black colleges. We need some help on this sports end. And also we got to do some things with our students. And it just can't be homecoming that you show up for a game. And, it just can't be for the fashionable thing. And, we got to, turn this into a product that people want to invest in. And right now, if I'm a TV exec, I don't want to broadcast any HBCU games because it's no excitement there. It's just empty seats. And so it looks like a WNBA game. So come on, yo. Let's figure it out, HBCUs.
Yeah, and it's really the football programs at most of the schools. I believe Grambling and Southern just had their classic matchup.
Yeah, that was on that was on NBC, and they broadcast that every year. But it's just about the bands.
Right. I was about to say, that doesn't, I mean, it draws a crowd, it draws the national attention, but it still doesn't draw what it should draw. Now, when you start looking at, and it's really just the football, because when you start looking at basketball, college basketball, you get a Morgan Coppin State. It's not even Coppin State anymore. You get a Morgan Coppin, that's a big draw. Yeah, that's a big draw. So I think one of the reasons why it is because when you're looking at, and you're right, these PWIs are definitely out recruiting HBCUs, because when you look at those football games, I don't think I've ever heard of an HBCU beating a PWI school in football. But when you look at basketball, it can happen. That's the lore of the NCAA tournament. So there's always that excitement in basketball that, hey, we can do this, because basketball will even reach back. And I hate to see reach back but we are behind. They'll even reach back and say, hey, we invite you to our tournament, or we'll invite you to an NIT tournament, so they're able to actually play nationally, even if they're throughout the season they haven't been national. They're actually able to get recognized. So I don't know what football has to do. And you're probably right. At this point with NIL, you probably need some big time investors, people with some names to come in there and help out, to help bring attention to these football programs.
Definitely. Maybe we should be broadcasting the homecoming games and not just the regular season Thursday night game. They should be, but we can't do it on a Saturday because we're not going to bump Alabama, Auburn. We're not going to bump Michigan versus Ohio State. And so we got to show the game where there's not a lot of people at.
Yeah, HBC football programs are even falling behind, like PWI soccer, softball, their programs. So yeah, that's a problem.
Most schools don't even have soccer. I mean, I don't think Hampton has.
Well, no, I mean their football is behind like a Maryland soccer.
You mean behind soccer? Yes, stuff like that. I would agree. Yes, definitely.
So, my come on, yo, has to do with Thanksgiving. Now, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if anybody knows this, Garland, about us, but we're the big show because we're big dudes. I don't know if y'all can see this, it might be all in my neck or something like that, but we try to look skinny down here, They say the camera puts on what 10 pounds on you, but for some reason our camera slim us out. So y'all might not even know why we call out. Y'all might have thought it was an oxymoron. But let me tell you something. The fattest shit in the world is the shit that I hate the most. Every Thanksgiving, one of these motherfucking restaurants, whether it be fast food or what, they always put together this motherfucking turkey stuffing, cranberry sauce sandwiches, these combination ass sandwiches that they swear everybody eats. No, I don't like that shit. Clearly Garland like that shit. The fattest shit in the world. I can't stand that shit. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. First of all, and I have eaten it before. Let me not act like, but in my older years, when I look at something like that, I just look like I'm a fucking garbage disposal. You just taking these leftovers and you're like, let's give it to the garbage disposal. And that's me. So I'm just eating it just like a garbage disposal. Eating that shit up. That is the fattest shit. Come on, yo. Can we just get a lean turkey sandwich with the stuffing on the side? You clearly still have the shit. And y'all sell that shit before Thanksgiving. As soon as you see a turkey, you like, oh yeah, time to put the garbage disposal sandwich together. I can't stand that shit. And another thing, y'all know why we ate that? We ate that because it was the leftovers from Thanksgiving and your parents wasn't cooking no more. You better eat what's in there. And the only thing you can do is put that shit together and be like, well, I'm going to go ahead and eat this. Get rid of all of it at one time. Because we don't waste no food around here. We don't waste no food around this motherfucker. Put some gravy on that. Actually, you put some gravy on the roll.
You going to eat it?
That shit
That's the best.
But come on, yo. See, you got me going back into that fat ass shit with the rest of y'all. Come on, yo. Down with the garbage disposal sandwiches. Back up with the lean meat and the healthy meals. Come on, yo. We on a health kick, Garland. We losing weight. We about to be called the Used to Be Big Show. Hey, next year we rebranding ourselves the Used to Be Big Show. Come on, yo.
Well, give me that sandwich before the end of the year. Feed me, Simo. Yeah, man, feed me. Feed me till I want no more. Because that sandwich is a yeah, man. You get the nice slice of turkey, you get a good piece of bread, get that turkey, get a little mayonnaise on that bread, get that turkey on that.
See,
get that stuffing on there, and then you get that cranberry, that gelled cranberry. I ain't talking about the white people cranberry. I'm talking about the one you slice in the big syrup. Slice that mug, put that mug on there, comment.
See, and as soon as we hit it big and we get our press photos taken, we gonna look like the number 10. I'm gonna be all slim and trim, and Garland gonna be there eating his garbage disposal sandwich. Come on, Garland, stop eating that shit.
I'm just balancing it out.
Hey man, another good show. We of course the holiday, we missed y'all last week, but we'll be back on semi-consistent basis because it is the holiday season.
Yes.
So, you know,
holiday parties, holiday commitments and stuff.
Can't
So,
make no promises.
Y'all work with us.
And come on, Ravens, that shit together. We need a fucking win.
Let's go.
Fucking Steelers coming to town, and they limping in the town. You bitches are already sitting in the goddamn wheelchair. Let's go. Fucking handicap ass game that we gonna have Sunday and shit. Everybody should have accessible parking because it ain't gonna be nothing but Special Olympics out that motherfucker.
If Lamar throws the ball more than 25 times on Sunday, we have lost the game.
If Rashid Ali gets more snaps than Derrick Henry, we all just need to quit. When did the pitchers and catchers report? When did they report? Because I'm gonna be looking for the Orioles.
Turn your attention.
And another thing, Orioles, stop hitting my account for all that motherfucking money without warning me first.
These gifts, can y'all send a warning?
Send a nigga an email or something. God damn, I know what I agreed to, but I'd like a reminder. Even the regular bills be like, hey, my man, I don't know if you forgot this, but we coming. We coming on this day. The Orioles just be like, boom, and then call you, be like, yeah, your shit ain't go through. Motherfucker, right, because I ain't know. I forgot. I did. They ain't go through the last time. I paid it. Then I was like, hey, before you hang up, give me the schedule again.
Right.
Let me get this.
I've been seeing the number I've been ignoring. It might have been the Orioles. Let me go back and check.
Hey man, let me play this music so we can get out of here.
I'm serious. I don't know this number. You have been listening to the B.I.G. Show. This show was produced and written by Calvin Coates and Garland Thomas for All Things Black Productions.
I'm with Garland.
Follow us on all of your podcast media platforms.
You know what? I'm bringing a Stanley mug to get refills, and I'm going to write Orioles on my shit. I'm going to just write O's on my shit.
I'm coming, soda.
Hey, later.